Hello everyone, my name is CNC and welcome to Ruiner Review. So today we're going to look under the hood of the Ruiner Battlecruiser. And after this video we're going to decide if this ship is viable for PvP, PvE or both. So the Ruiner Battlecruiser is obtainable during the Kraken event. If your alliance has captured the core, you have 3 days to build this ship limitless. Or you could hunt down arc fleets during the event and have a chance on a blueprint. So let's look at the weapons. It has 2 cannons, 2 lasers and 2 missiles. And if we're going to look at the stats of the weapons, it has more damage than usual. This L cannon has a damage of 400. And if we look at the hull damages, it has for the standard and heavy hulls, those are for the standard the Battlecruisers, and for the heavy those are the Ruiners and the Dreadnoughts, all in the 80 category. If we look at the M cannon, it has a damage of 200, and for instance if you take the regular type 2 cannon you can build on every other ship, those have a damage of 140. So there is a difference of 60 points on damage. If you look at these hull stats again, it has 76 on standard hull and 60 on the heavy hull, which is, well, really good. If you look at the laser, it also has a damage of 400. And if we look at the hulls, you see the main difference that with the weak and the simple hulls and with the light hull, the damage is really good. However, if we look at the heavy hull, it's only 30%. If you look at the M laser, it has a damage of 200. And on the heavy hull, only 20% and 50 on the standard hull. If we take the missile, we see something different. We see a damage of 600, where all other weapons had 2. And let me tell you something about missiles you maybe don't know. A missile has an attack speed of 3, which means that whenever a cannon fires 3 times, so it makes 3 salvos, this weapon only fires once, but when it fires it delivers a damage of 600. So what you have to do is, if you divide the number of attack speed by the damage, you will see that it also has a damage of 200. However, it takes it 3 times after it fires. It fires on the 3rd time. If we look at the hulls, again, in the weak hull that's pretty good, simple hull okay, but also on the heavy hull 30%. What do I mean with damage to hull types? Well, there is what they call damage drop-off. So for instance, this gorgeous 600 on damage, it will lose 70% when it hits a heavy hull. So 30% of its damage will be delivered to the ship's health. Nova calls that through damage. So if you look at the DPR, that's the combined firepower of all the weapons, it's 2160. But if we look at the drop-off, we are losing a lot of those damages on standard and the heavy hulls. So, well, PvP kind, you would not have that insane amount of damage. If you look at a ship you can build, you can put in more cannons or drones, because they also deliver a good amount of damage to the standard and heavy hulls, and your drop-off on the total DPR would be less. However, if you build a custom Enterprise or Renor, then you're looking around a DPR of 1400. So that's, if you're going to minus everything, this ship is probably a little bit powerful still. However, the trade-off is it's very expensive to build. it will cost you 3 days, 1.1 million on minerals, 180k on crystals and almost 60k on alloy. So if we're going to look at the components, the Kraken folk weren't too efficient with their energy, 444, that's kind of an overkill. But if we look at the health stats, well, they're really good. 75,000 on health, 12,000 on shield, 30 on armor. The accuracy is pretty good, evasion is okayish. So it's a pretty good ship. However, if we look at the weapons, I think this ship is perfect for mixed fleets, and pirates have mixed fleets. They're usually contained of frigates, destroyers, cruisers, or destroyers, cruisers, battle cruisers, or light cruisers, battle cruisers, and dreadnoughts. If we look at the PvP ships, you see only standard and heavy hulls. There is also something we have to think about, and those are the repairs. So let's look at that. So what I did, I got myself 20 Ruiners, went to battle with it, and after 70% of damage I retreated them. I gained a 10% damage penalty for retreating and lost 3 ships in the process. So let's look at the bill. That gained me 3 days of repair time, 16 hours, 40 minutes, 2 million on minerals, 200,000 on crystals and 100,000 on alloy. And you think, well, that's okay-ish. Well, this is just 17 ships. If you have 100 or 70 or you have 500, that's really something to consider. So what do I think of the Ruiner Battlecruiser? Well, for instance, I like the aesthetics. I like the whole golden theme and I like the moving parts. However, for the building costs, it's way up there. You could do a lot of different things for those. For PvP, I think you could build a more competitive ship yourself, especially if you have a good admiral that supports the weapons you use, and if you focus with your modules on weapons that are good for PvP. You could close the gap between the DPR difference, because of the drop-off is pretty high with this ship for the hulls we just discussed. For PvE, however, I think it's a good ship to have. Probably a couple will do. Because of the weapons, it delivers a good damage over the whole line of ships a pirate fleet has. So there you have it. I'm curious about your opinion after this video, of course, so leave them in the comments. And if you like the video, then please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!